Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Bandit. Not Smokey and the Bandit, unfortunately, but about a bank robber. And looks kind of cool. It's got Mel Gibson in it. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's, oh, excuse me, The Pineys, books 1 through 9. Now, Mel Gibson is the big time gangster. He doesn't look like a big time gangster, but just looks like Mel Gibson. And then this guy, it's based on a true story, which I'm unfamiliar with. Josh Duhamel? Is that how you say that? Duhamel? Is the bank robber who employs various disguises. And this, to me, is a smart way to rob a bank. Because what he does is, here's his disguise, right? Big, bushy mustache. And then he takes it off, and he's got a suit underneath, right? He's got, like, strip-away stuff. He just throws it away, and then boom. You know, he's a different guy. And he also goes right in to do something, and Elisha Cuthbert's in it too. Haven't seen her in a while. Good for her getting a gig. So he employs all this makeup and stuff, so he looks like a completely different guy, changes his nose, whatever, wears distracting things, sets off distracting explosions, and then he he just robbed a bank, and after he strips out of all his costuming, he goes into a credit union or something to pay off some debt. And that gives him like an excuse because he cuts it so close. That's the way to do it. But I think this takes place in the past, you know, prior to the time where video cameras were everywhere, but not so far back in time. There weren't some video cameras. I'm going to guess the 80s. Written by Craig Wenman, based on the book The Flying Bandit by Robert Knuckle, with Ed Arnold. So I guess Robert Knuckle wrote it, and Ed Arnold co-wrote it, or is he the Flying Bandit, and you know that Robert Knuckle was the Ghost Rider, or vice versa? Directed by Alan Ungar. It looks fun. I mean, you know, it's always fun to see Mel in a movie now, because he's always playing like the older guy. See all the disguises he has. The disguises look pretty good. Elisha Cuthbert looks pretty good, I gotta say that. For some reason, Mel has to front him money to go out of state. And these all kind of end the same, right? So, first act, probably be something like he's either doing this, you know, he's got it down to a science, he's robbing banks, and or he's getting out of prison, and now he's sort of thought of the way to rob a bank, like with a disguise, like because that got him caught before or something. Anyhow, he robs a few banks, meets Elisha Cuthbert, and at some point he has to ask Mel Gibson for permission or money to do a bigger job. Not quite sure why. It says something about like he's got to go out of state and he needs extra funds. I don't know why a successful bank robber can't make his own funds. Maybe this is the first robbery and he has to ask Mel for the money, and he sort of has to keep paying Mel the street tax, something like that. Anyhow, so he's robbing banks, he's falling in love with Elisha Cuthbert, but these guys are also looking for him. And slowly but surely, he robs more and more banks, but they're getting closer and closer to figuring out who he is. And then, of course, it's one big score. One big score and I'm out. I'm out after one big score. And so he goes to do that, and of course there's all sorts of complications. It's much more complex. That they're on his case. And the end of this, since it's based on a true story, I gotta imagine he got caught. He got caught and he went to jail, and then we see a scroll at the end. Well, he got caught and we went to jail, but he got out, and now he's out. Now he's fine. Maybe. Or maybe he got away with it. I doubt it, because, you know, how would you even hear about this if he got away with it, right? It's based on a true story. But heist movies are always interesting. Josh seems like a good lead for this. seems like a good lead. I like the disguises. That looks fun. So, who the hell does he remind me of? He reminds me of a lot of different actors. I want to say Timothy Oliphant, only with darker hair. Glad to see Elijah back. Elisha? I can't say her name. Cuthbert. Hasn't been in a movie in ages. Still looking great, though. Very cute. And Mel, of course, just doing the Mel thing with the beard, being the older guy. I'm Mel Gibson. Yeah, it looks all right. I mean, here he robs a bank and he knows the teller. So, like he's robbed it so many times. I can't think of who this bank robber is, though. I've read a lot of stuff about bank robbers and crime and stuff. Doesn't sound familiar. There was a cop who robbed a bunch of banks that they caught. He's definitely not that guy because he's not a cop. Man. And then there was the con artist guy. Catch me if you can. Yeah, look at Elisha Cuthbert. Eliza Cuthbert? I can't say her name. So cute. So cute. Still cute. So, yeah, I would watch this movie. These are the guys after him. I'm not sure if they're cops or whatever. Probably. I would watch this. Would I go to the movies? Nah, maybe. Maybe I would. If I was up for a heist movie. Yeah, it definitely looks like, I'm going to say 80s. Feels like the 80s with this vest, the clothes. It's not screaming 80s to me, though. Maybe early 90s? Cars seem a little older. I would have to think it's... Oh, wait, does he have a phone there? I mean, there are so many video cameras now. I got to think that this strategy wouldn't even work anymore. They're on to that strategy of disguising yourself as a, bank robber. So you could have all the disguises you want. I mean, they got DNA evidence and everything. See, like this, even this alley probably would have a camera in it. Or 2 or 3, depending on the businesses that face it. So, robbing banks seems like a dumb thing to do. I mean, in almost any era. Because it's like they don't hold a ton of money anymore. You'd have to rob a place that holds a lot of cash. And places just don't hold cash anymore. It's too electronic. But, yeah. I don't know. All right. Well, because Mel's in it, I might go see it, I guess. I don't know. I'd probably wait. This feels like a rental, as they used to say. Probably wait for streaming. Yeah, I'd probably wait for streaming. Anyhow, that's it for me. Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more bass takes. Well, we got a lot of bass takes. The Hollywood hot take today was huge. Batman is gay. Yeah, you gotta tune in to Hollywood hot take to know. Anyhow, we'll see you tomorrow.